Hello, everybody. This is Peppermint Hyena, and I want to talk about what makes you a furry. And don't worry, this is a fake sword. It's a plastic sword. I'm just using it to hold the microphone. So, what makes a furry? So, a furry is somebody who likes anthropomorphic creatures. That easy. And I know everybody has their own version and everything, but anthropomorphic creatures are stuff like Mickey Mouse or Tony the Tiger. They're walking, talking animals that do things that humans do. That's simple. And what makes you a furry is simply being a fan of it. You don't have to have a fursuit, which is a costume that is represented of somebody's character, like me. I am Peppermint the Hyena. I'm a hyena with peppermint colors and spots of red and white prevalent. That simple. Not everybody can afford a fursuit. They usually cost, depending on what you get, the low cost, like low cost, is usually like 1,000. But the high quality fursuits that you want will usually cost around 20, 30K. But that's usually like luxury, like high, high, like you're balling type high. And I'm like, no. But usually it would go around like 4,000, 3,000, maybe 7,000. That's usually like high quality stuff that popular fursuit makers have for commission them. Being a furry, you don't have to have a fursuit. You could just have ears or a tail, and sometimes you don't even need that either. You don't need that. There seems to be a thing where people think that you need to have a furry character, which is a persona, which is a play on persona, just means that a character that represents you, that you perceive yourself or wish to be. And I'm sorry for all the noise out there. There's construction. You don't need a persona to be a furry. I've seen so many people who make how to be a furry videos, and they always say, "Oh, you need a persona." No, you don't. You don't need anything. Being a furry, it is pretty much just as simple as being a fan of anthro characters, anthro animals, walking, talking animals. That's it. That's all. You don't need a fursuit. You don't need a furry character. You don't need a persona. You don't need to go to conventions. And that's it. If you want to be called a furry, just say, hey, I'm a furry. That's it. Now, if you want to like do stuff, you don't have to do things that every other furry does. That's the thing. But if you want to do things that some people do, they go to conventions. They go online sometimes. They go to Discord servers. Just talk to people in the community and commission artists and to draw their characters if they have any. Maybe if you have trouble finding a character, you can look for adopt. And adopts are characters that somebody else made in the purpose of selling. Usually those characters have their own design, they're already made for you, and that's it. Just go with the one that speaks to you, that ones that represents you, and you're all set. That's it. That's all. And boom, you have a persona, or or something. You have a character, and then you could just go and do whatever you want. Like not everything, not whatever you want. There are some rules, like just don't be a jerk and don't do something that is illegal or anything like that. That's not allowed in the furry fandom at all. There are misconceptions about furry that are very common out there that is often made by false information as well as biased views. In the furry fandom are primarily LGBTQ. There are going to be people out there that hate furries because they're homophobic or transphobic and both. So keep that in mind. Not everybody in the fandom is autistic. There's a percentage, it's just like there's a percentage of LGBTQ. Not everybody is, but there's a high number. There is also the misconception that people adult time, and if you know adult time, it's special hugging adult hugging really hard in fursuits. And I'm not going to pretend that that doesn't happen, but it's a small percentage. I say 3%, 2% maybe, of people, adults, take part in that. But that is in every other fandom. Like, for example, anime. People who are in the anime fandom. There's hentai. Like, come on. That exists. that exists. Saying that it exists in the furry fandom is like, no duh. It exists in every other fandom. Like Star Wars. All you need to do is search Rule 34 Star Wars and you see a whole bunch of Princess Leia shit and all that crap. So, it's in every other fandom. There is also a misconception that people say we wear this all the time. No, we do not wear this all day. We do not. It gets super hot in here. Very, very hot real quick. I have a fan on. I have a fan on just so I could stay in this a little bit longer. And I'm new to this. I'm new to like wearing a fursuit and all this stuff. Like, this is my first fursuit, and it's hot as hell. Oh, if I ever get like a fursuit again, like like to remake this character or something, or get a different character, I would ask for fans in the head and probably like a cooling vest or something, because it's so hot in here. It is like wearing a rug. It is like wearing your furniture. It gets very hot, and you could actually get heat stroke just by being in here. This is your reminder to drink water, goddammit. Drink some fucking water. We cannot do anything in this, which just goes back to the sexual thing. Dude, it gets so hot in here. Why would, and not only that, but these are expensive. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video? These get expensive. And why in the fucking world would we ever do that in this that costs a fortune? This is a luxury item theory. This is like having Nikes and putting them in mud. Why the fuck would you want to do that? Like, why would I want to do that? No. Fuck no. It is so hot in here that it's like you have to wash these things so much. The heat in here could actually cause you to have a heat stroke, and people have gone around to making it so it's possible to stay in longer. But there is a reason why there is a thing called the headless lounge when you go to a convention. A headless lounge is exactly what it says, where you go into a lounge, a room, with a whole bunch of fans and take off your head. Wow, so amazing. So you go in there to cool off when you're overheating. That's how it works. You have to go in there. Every fursuiter has to go in there. And everybody else started doing it because it needs to be done. Like, if you want to keep going, have a headless lounge. There's no cameras allowed in the headless lounge. No videos are allowed to take in there. None of that. Keeping the head on or fursuit on longer, they have made fans like in the snout or in the ears or something around here, so that way it can blow air in and out of the head and keep circulation. I did say water vest, cooling vest, not water vest. There is a vest that you put on under a fursuit, the full fursuit, the one with the body and everything, keeps you cooler longer. That was made by Furry. It became so popular that actually people in the Marines and stuff, like in the Army, whichever, started to like commission them and be like, hey, actually this works. Dude, I need that. And so it started going out to there, and it started to go to like anime peeps and again, other fandoms. We could do these amazing things that help people. Yet there's still a lot of hate. Again, a lot of the hate is from misinformation or and there are people out there that will just hate just to hate because we're an easy target. Because everybody already hates us or already dislikes us because of misinformation, and people ride onto that and be like, hey, look at these weirdos dressing up as furry animals. Well, I could go to an anime convention and be like, hey, look at this guy that's dressing up as, I don't know, Sailor Moon or something. He has hairy legs and everything. Look at the guy that's wearing a maid outfit. But yet we don't. It's funny sometimes, but we're weird. Everybody's weird. It's just that anime gotten into a bigger, world, and people started to accept it more. And then we're here, and we're still called weirdos. We're pretty much the same thing. The only difference between us and them is that anime is a fandom around anime, which is a franchise. It's usually like fans of Naruto or Dragon Ball Z or something like that. But the thing is that with furries, is that we're fans of anthropomorphic animals that isn't connected by a franchise. Like, it could be connected by multiple franchises throughout the whole thing, from anime to Star Wars to Star Trek to this to that, comic books. I'm sorry for all the noise. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm just gonna go through it. I'm so sorry. Furries are also, like, not a single franchise, and it could go through so many things. So, there's fans of multiple different things. And sometimes, people who are fans of anthro animals can also do many, many amazing things. Like, they can make their own music. They could draw their own art. They can make their own websites. They could do things. They can make their own clothes. They can make they could dance. Like, there are dance competitions and shit like that, and act, and opera, and oh my god, so many things. You can play instruments. That's amazing. That's amazing. And the one thing that we're always great at when it comes to the furry fandom is that when you need help, call on the furries. If you need help, call on us. Like, there are many times when you go to a convention that there's always some sort of charity that is involved, almost always. And whenever it is, it's usually like a business that's closing that needs help, a business that's just starting up, something that helps with animals, something that helps with people, something that this and that, and it's just amazing. There are always something going on, and we're one of the biggest, most charitable beings out there that just will throw our money and be like, hey, you need help, take it. And that's what it's amazing about being a furry, is that when you need help, call on us. And not just money, just like for anything. Like, there are many people in the furry, like, there's so many people of many backgrounds are in the furry fandom with many jobs and everything. All you could do is be like, hey, is there anybody that knows how to work camera or something? And be like, hey, I need help with this. And there'll be somebody out there and be like, hey, I could help you with that. I could do that for you. Like, how are you going to do that? And all that jazz. And it's just amazing of how great the furry fandom can be. Now, with all that said, there is some downsides to being a furry. Like, again, with the hate from the outside people, from the people that are not furries. There are people out there that will hate, like call us fatherless, give us death threats, all that jazz. Again, the majority of us are, a part of the LGBTQ, and that could have a part in it. And the thing is that nobody knows who's who, so they'll just hate on us for that, or just hate on us because we're dressing up as a weird animal, or both, mostly both. Mostly. But there is a lot of hate that comes with this. There is also the fact that there is sometimes drama in the fandom. And again, that goes with every fandom. But the thing is that with furries, there is always some sort of aware and something like that. There's always something with every fandom. The common one that we see is like the wear post. Like, there's this person stealing art and then trying to sell it as their own. Or trying to, like, say, oh, emergency commissions and stuff like that. There is always something going on with that. Even as far with fursuits. Like, there are sometimes these wearers that steal pictures of people that made fursuits, that actually made those, and try to say it that they made it, and then try to sell it. Of course, they steal the money and you get nothing. And that happens sometimes. And that happens with every fandom. And that is sad that it happens. It's something. There's always something going on. Twitter is a hellscape. Twitter is a hellscape. There's always somebody going on. is always some rumors going on. There's always gossip. There's always this. There's always that. And it's so annoying. It really is. That's why everybody else tends to ignore that and be like, hey, I don't care. Just let me be addressed. Like, of course, like, depending on what it is, though. If it's something serious, like being like, hey, this end up being like a yikes person, they're dangerous or they're disgusting or whatever, don't, like, they're not. Again, I'm going to talk over this, and I'm so sorry if you can't hear me. Or get distracted by it. I understand. But when it comes to this, everybody unites and pretty much be like, hey, yikes, don't allow this at the con, kick them out, they're not allowed in the fandom. And we do that. There are times where there are some people that we have to kick out of the fandom because they end up being like a disgusting human being that shouldn't be around us and shouldn't be even involved with us. And we kick them out. We all unite and be like, hey, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. You're not allowed in here. You're not accepted. You're not accepted by us. And that's what unites us the most. That and charity. There are some famous furries out there. There are some celebrities that are furries. But there's a lot of positives that mostly outweighs the negative when it comes to the furry fandom. And that is crazy. Like that is wonderful. Thank God, because if it was the other way around, none of we wouldn't even last. Like I said earlier, there are some celebrities that are furries, and that threw me for a loop. I was like, how do we have these people as furries? Oh my God! And there are also some people that are just furries and just happen to be popular. Like there's Majira or something like that. Like those popular furries, we call poppy furries, which again, popular furry, poppy furries. They make videos and do a whole bunch of stuff, and there are some furries out there that are poppy furries. Again, you can do many things as a furry. You don't have to just dress up, and you don't have to get expensive things. You can just call yourself a furry, and that's it. That's all. But anyways, that's it. Like, if you wanted to be a furry and you wanted to do furry things, there you go. Like, you could go to conventions, you could participate and do things, or you could just go online, or just be like, I just draw and role play or whatever on a video game or something, or make comics or blah blah blah. I just like furries. I just like anthro creatures and be like, oh, I might be furry. Well, boom. Just be like, hey, I'm a furry. I just like anthro animals. That's it. That's all. You don't have to do all these things. I hope this clears up a lot of things. And again, sorry for the noise in the background. There is construction going on. I hope this is helpful. I hope you guys can enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And feel free to check out other videos that I made. Most of them are shorts though, from TikTok. Again, I have a TikTok, Peppermint Hyena. Wow, surprising. With this wonderful face close up to the camera. I do think I should make a Twitch account or just go live on YouTube maybe and play video games or something. But I'm not too sure about that yet. So just let me know. Bye bye.